oh my god, just from what I've been hearing, and it's such a disappointment because I was going into it super excited. I
Same.
wanted you guys to
Me too.
experience Goldie Pond and the greatness that is. I can't say his name because that's a spoiler, but the greatness of that character and another character in that arc, and it just went into smoke. Not even smoke because they didn't fucking show it. It never existed. It never happened.
So sad.
Yeah, I have so many things to say about TPN. A lot of it is just simply goes down to I'm really hurt because I felt betrayed, but as well, I feel like as the weeks go on, I feel like they gotta realize what they fucking did because there's gotta be so much backlash just from the fandom in America alone of what I'm seeing. No way they haven't seen the response to this. This is, in my opinion, this is just as bad as Tokyo Ghoul at this point. And I said originally that I thought it was different, but based off what I've seen and what I've heard, it's not different. They did the same thing. Except literally, Tokyo Ghoul Season 1, Promised Neverland Season 1, both had cut content, but both were very good, in my opinion. Well, Tokyo Ghoul was good, but wasn't very good. Promised Neverland was very good. Very, very good. Everything afterwards is been shit. And that's just what happened with TPN Season 2. It's the same thing. They did it again. And
they turned freaking what's the mother's name again? I was about to say Elsa, but that's not Isabella. See, Isabella, Elsa. Damn it. Isabella into just an idiot. All I did was see your guys talking about it in the podcast that you and Rising do, and I was like, really? That's what they made her do?
Yeah.
That doesn't even sound like the greatest payoff ever. You know, she's like, I'm going to take back these kids with her evil maniacal look, and then she's like, haha, it was me the whole time, Steve Austin.
It was me all along.
And the thing about the Promised Neverland is what happens in the anime, at least from what I've heard from Rising Senpai and C Senpai, is that it ends up in the same place. And that's my issue with it. If you were going to cut out all this content and alter things, why didn't you alter what we didn't like? The shit at the end is what we didn't like. They gave us what we didn't like and took away from us what we loved. I will never understand that ass backward logic. And I don't know how Tokyo Ghoul was, the situation was as it was airing, because I only watched season 1 and that was years after it aired. I don't know I don't know if the manga was already complete by the time they put out the other seasons, but I'm just going to speak on the Promised Neverland. The manga was finished. You didn't have to, you weren't dealing with a Full Metal Alchemist situation or any other anime where the manga is ongoing, but you still had to animate content. The shit was finished. You had the blueprint. Follow it. Or at the very least, don't go in the same direction where we told you we didn't like. Like, I'll never understand it.
Me neither.
It's like an out of touch move. It's like, oh, we got their money anyways, and we're gonna get their money even more when they make them read the manga.
Yeah, I really do think that that's what they're doing, is they're trying to make people read the manga, and I really, I think you said it. It's out of touch. It's old. Nobody does it. I mean, there's always going to be mangas. There's always going to be that material. People that want to read it, go for it. Knock yourself out. But there's a whole new medium now where people are expecting good stuff from your shows.
Oh man, you know, I'm getting fucking heated right now. I'm really angry because what is more important in this day and age than just getting a show out and done to move on to the next thing? Wouldn't you rather want on all your social media feeds, all of your communities to be happy for a sustained amount of time? Don't you think a series could get a second life if you just adapt something properly? Just because the manga isn't publishing anymore doesn't mean we got to forget about it and treat it like it's old news. Like we can look at all of these series that have come out recently where they're not even publishing, like Dobro. And we all, I think all of us have a differing opinion, but I think we can all agree that Dobro is a very competent show at the end of the day that a lot of people thought was really good. Same with Bunny Girl Senpai and all of that stuff, which I think Alejandro brung up Bunny Girl Senpai. And he says, why do I feel like the only anime Cloverworks has worked on that isn't controversial is Bunny Girl Senpai? And I have to agree, but I think that's digressing a little bit. But what is more important these days? It's word of mouth. It's every week having something to look forward to, having a conversation. Look at Attack on Titan. Sure, it's publishing right now, but it took its fucking time, and it did it right.
Yeah.
And it's one of the biggest shows on the planet. Probably the biggest show on the planet. Wouldn't you want that?
If this is kind of fair because this is an extreme example, and I don't think any other, I won't say any other, but I don't think a lot of anime can replicate this. But I think a good example of this is Demon Slayer. If you look at how the manga sales were post the anime, it had a huge boon in sales to where it took over One Piece as the best-selling manga, and it continues to do that even now. It just is skyrocketed to places we never imagined because of the anime. And that's why I don't want to use this because it was ufotable and it looked great. It was animated great. So a lot of anime aren't going to be able to replicate that. But my whole point is bringing in the fact that once you do something great with the anime, you will see results with the manga. It's going to correlate. Good anime equals great manga sales.
Oh my God.
I agree with that.
We can go to gaming. One of the best examples in the last 10 years has been the franchise of Halo. Halo was literally the game. It was the game. Like in 2007 when Halo 3 came out, it was the game, guys. Like the biggest game in the world. It was.
I remember when it came out on the Xbox when it was just Halo 1. That shit blew my mind.
Yeah, for 6 years, Halo 1 to 3 was the biggest game in the world. Who the fuck plays Halo anymore? And then it's a different story with Halo Infinite.
People.
Yeah, a big group of people, and it's now finally got back on track. But before Halo Infinite, who the fuck cares about Halo? Halo 4, nobody played that. Halo 5, nobody played that. And why was that? Because they're bad games.
Yeah, they were terrible.
So I think this hurt Promised Neverland more than it helped. It just feels like a suit in Shueisha or something like that. Whoever publishes it, Jump or whatever, was just like, yeah, we got to get it out. Manga's done. We don't want to spend money on this. It's like, if you don't want to spend money on this and you just want to get it out to advertise the manga, why don't you fucking do a good job for the last 12 episodes? And then send your fans home happy. At least you put the last season out in good faith. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I can't wait for you and Ryzen to get to Goldie Pond and talk about that podcast. I'll be very interested in watching that, reliving that arc again, because that's what the anime was supposed to do for me. But I had to live vicariously through you guys whenever you read it.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous the way they treat some of these series that have so much potential as just like fly-by-night series that don't matter. It just money grabs. It's ridiculous.
It is. It's a shame. It's really such a shame, but hopefully this studio will learn from this and understand that if you go the route of Demon Slayer and all these other animes, Attack on Titan, that you'll see success versus The Promised Neverland, because by the time everything's all said and done, The Promised Neverland is going to be yet another anime that we watched and will never remember.
My video that I'm going to come out for it is literally going to be recommending people to not even ever for a single second consider watching the anime, because there's no reason to. Why watch the anime? Why? I don't get it. But is what it is.
Time to drink.
And I would have rather Promised Neverland went down the same route that Spice and Wolf did, where it's just forever waiting for a sequel, than to ever be in this timeline where it was just deprived of any good sequel at all. And they just fucking ruined it and just fucking drove the fucking car into a active volcano. It's kind of what they did. I don't know.
One good thing that came out of it was the intro to season 1 of The Promised Neverland.